So I'm going to ask each panel member to speak for about 3 or 4 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. And to introduce themselves one by one. And I'll start with Glenda, and I'll end with Chris, okay? So, Glenda.
Oh, do you want me to go stand there?
No, you should, yeah, no, it'll be fine.
Helo, dwi am siarad Cymraeg efo chi, os ydych chi'n meindio. Glenda Roberts, di enw fi, a nes i gael yn diagnosio efo dementia o pan o'n i o gwmpas 53, rhywbeth fel e. Dwi'n gweld, mae yna lot fawr o siarad am politics a bethau, a dwi'n yn poeni am politics. Dwi just dynas ordinary housewife sydd wedi digwydd cael early dementia. A yn y dechrau un, oedd o reit anodd, mi oedd o'n anodd ofnadwy, a do'n i'm eisiau mynd allan o beth ar ôl i fi gael yn diagnosio. A wedyn, nes i gael Mari nyrs fi, a mae hi'n lot fawr o support i'r teulu, ac i fi hefyd. A fel mae un drws, fel nes i ffindio Mari, nes i gael Claire yn y mywyd, a nes i gael Eman yn y mywyd, mae un drws yn agor llall. Ond di politics yn dwi'n gweld dim byd wedi newid yn y flwyddyn dwytha. Y ffordd i helpu fi fwyaf fysa rhaid rhywun i fi i llenwi fforms. I wneud y fform yn llai, lle bod chdi'n cael fforms i fatha Beibl i llenwi. Pam gai just 2 dudalen. Pam nes hynna di beth bwysica. Mae yna lot fawr o waith sgwennu pan da chi'n cael, mae eisiau llenwi ffom yma a mae eisiau llenwi ffom arall. A mae eisiau just torri hwnna i gyd i lawr a just rhoi 2 dudalen sydd wneud beth yn hawsach i'r teulu ag i'r patient. Mae eisiau mwy o bobl rhy fath a Mari. Mae eisiau mwy o support workers i fynd, na i ddim mynd allan a ben yn hun. Wedyn dwi'n dibynnu'r gwr i ddod efo fi, neu ferch fynd efo fi, neu fynd am dro o gwmpas lle dwi'n byw. Ond mae'n mynd allan a ben yn hun yn ofnadwy ofnus, really. Mae sensus yn newid, mae clyw yn newid, mae ffordd ti'n gweld pethau yn newid, mae lliwiau yn newid, mae step yn newid. A mae o'n rhaid scary i fynd a ben yn hunan. So mae eisiau rhywun, sef pobl fatha Mari, a sydd yn neud y gwaith yna, yn mynd i wneud efo mwy o bobl i supportio nhw, sydd yn llawer all wedyn yn supportio ni. Di hynna igon.
Well done, Glenda. We talk incessantly about the voices of people living with dementia being most powerful and changing hearts and minds, and that to my mind is evidence. And she's quite right. Politics sometimes we don't see outside the box sometimes, and the actual of what happens on the ground is so important. Dory, we've known each other for some time.
We have.
And you're unrecognisable to the person that I first met. I've got to tell you that now.
For better or worse.
So perhaps you could, as briefly as possible, because you've only got 5 minutes, tell them how the changes happened. What's happened for you in the last year or so?
Well, my whole life, really. When I got diagnosed when I was 59, I got very depressed. And even before that, I've always been a quiet, not very confident person. So the positive for me of getting dementia and getting involved with DEEP and a lot of other projects, I've built my confidence so much I'd never have sat up here talking. But yeah, so that's really changed. And I'd like to say as well, apart from meeting peers and things that have helped me. The old brewery in Flintshire. It's a resource centre for younger onset dementia. And the senior care and the carer, Ian Woolley and Nicola, give so much support to the families and the people living with dementia. And we say what we want to do, and Ian has to do it. So, and that's a big service. It's really good. It's people run, not carer run in a way. So.
Okay, I mean, typical of Dory, she doesn't give the full story. She's also started a friendly face group. She's also tried to start she's in the process of starting a support group from a local pub, and she's also acquired a tattoo. So it's been a it's been quite a week for her. Karen,
Hi,
you had a pretty momentous year or so, yeah? Is that fair to say?
yes. Hi, I'm Karen Kitch. I was diagnosed January 2014, early onset. Towards the end of the year, I thought it was going to be really positive because I was given direct payments and I had a PA. And last year, they were taken away from me because I can wash myself, I can look after myself, so I don't need it anymore. But that person became very close to me because she was more of a friend. Unfortunately, that's gone now. But when I was diagnosed 4 years ago, I was just told that I had to give up work, do my power of attorney, and that was it. My friend got diagnosed this January. She's 49. Things haven't changed. She went into the consultation. They told her she had dementia, and they just sent her away. And she was left in limbo. And the only good thing that came for her was the fact that I was there. So no, professionally, nothing has changed. In fact, things have been taken away from us, not given to us. Sorry.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Karen. And I think it's very easy sometimes to overlook the actual human element and the loss that can occur, not just with the dementia, but when support services are taken away from you, the impact that it has. And I go back to my constant theme whenever I speak to anybody: the voices of people with dementia cannot be ignored. They are powerful, they are honest, and they will change hearts and minds. Karen, thank you so much. Last, but certainly not least, is Chris Roberts. He needs no introduction. But I think it's fair to say that you need to know how I got introduced to him. He forgot my name. Well, he has got dementia. And he was asked to recommend somebody to chair an event in Cardiff. He couldn't do it, so they'd asked if there was anybody else. And he said, there's this bloke, he said. I don't know his name, but he's Angry Man from Swansea. And that was me. And since then, you know, we've worked, and with Jane and with others, we've worked very closely on a number of projects. And activism, it should be Chris Roberts activism, really. So I'm going to ask you, Chris, if you could give us a little insight into what you think activism means and what you think people should do.
Sorry, I thought there was more. Hello, everyone. I was diagnosed with mixed dementia about 5 or 6 years ago. And thinking about change, everything's changed and nothing's changed. There's so much has happened in the last 5 years, 6 years since I've been diagnosed, but there's so much that hasn't happened as well. When you're moving around these conferences and these meetings, you really think there's a massive change. But when you go outside and visit Mrs. Davis down the road, nothing's changed. Absolutely nothing's changed. Signposting is horrendous. There's lots of services out there. But how can you ask for something you don't know? No one's proactive, they're just reactive. By the time you get a service that you require, it's too late. You've already been in crisis. As Cameron says, just saying, just proving. So we have to be proactive ourselves. We can't just sit back and wait to get help. And that's what we started doing now. We all know there's lots of services out there. We all know that people are trying their hardest and doing an amazing job. So we need to help them by helping ourselves. We need to come out. Same as the gay and lesbian scene a long time ago. We need to come out. We need to stand up and be counted. Because like as Nigel keeps saying, we are stronger together. And I don't consider myself an activist. I'm just getting on with my new life. It's about doing what you can do and not what you can't. And I can talk all day about dementia because I'm an expert. But I'm only an expert in my dementia. It's such an individual disease, as we heard from Sebastian before. It's such an individual disease. It depends on your environment, your age, and obviously the cause. What support you've got. And Betty, yes, totally agree with everything you say. And I'd love to see 45,000 support workers, at least. And that's the number of people with dementia in Wales. But that number's 6 or 7 years old, that I know of. Diagnosis rates are 50% or less in Wales. So I think we can actually double, if not treble, that figure. So dementia is going to affect all of us. Dementia is not racist. It's not ageist. And it doesn't care who you vote for. No one can evade this. It's going to affect everyone, the figures are going. So this is why the momentum has to be kept up. We can't just sit back on our laurels because we've done something. We have to keep the momentum going. We have to keep shouting, and we have to keep passing the baton and encouraging other people to come forward, because we won't be around forever, and anything can happen to anyone at any time anyway. I'll probably die of emphysema. Dementia's a small problem in our house. But the people at home that get the diagnosis as well, because the diagnosis is shared. It's shared by my family, and it's also shared by my friends. It affects my colleagues when I was working. So everyone needs to get involved and support each other. It really is nothing about us without all of us. We're all experts, or we can be, and we all need to work together and stop working in silos. Joined up working is the way forward, and the way to include people affected by dementia in everything you do. Do with us and not for us, as Nigel keeps saying. Thank you.
Fantastic. We're in the last minute or so now, but I'd just like to say that going back to what Chris and the panel members said, it seems clear that we have a lot to offer in this game. We've got a long, hard fight in front of us. We're not there yet, but with people like the panel members here, people like yourselves, we can join together, we can make this a real good place to be if you've got dementia, and we can make Wales a market leader in the way it delivers its services. Can I please ask you to put your hands together for 4 very talented, very brave people. And thank you very much.